Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. So, Mike here from CEO Warrior, and we're going to go live in just a second here. So, hang tight while everybody jumps in. What's up, my man? Gary Lightfoot, good morning. Michelle, how are you? Happy good morning to you. And this is going to be one of those you're going to want pen and paper for definitely to make some notes. I was having a conversation with somebody today, and it triggered a thought that goes back a long time ago, many, many years ago, before we started to get, I would say, success is an interesting thing. You're successful just to be alive today, but, to be, and then you're successful to be healthy, and you're successful to be married, but then there's levels of success on all different areas of this. So I was talking to my team the other day, Steven from WIT, and my badass copywriter, Lindsay, and one of my coaches, Dan, and also so many other of my team. And we started to say, this message and some of these messages are so important that we just got to bring it to the CEO Warrior page because we have so much traction of so many people following there. And do me a favor while I'm going through this, as you're hearing things, I want you to think a couple things. One, I want you to think, well, what do I need to change about myself? Like, how does this message apply to me? And then number two, who else needs to hear this message that might not be either playing at the level or may not have the success they need? What's up, Gabe? Good morning, my beautiful wife. So let's start to dig into things. But if there is a share button on there where you can invite people on, do me a favor, invite them real quick and let's get them here. If you go back to first just understanding success and then understanding consequences and then consequences of lack of success. And that's what I really want to start talking about. What's up, Louise? And the consequence of lack of success comes in many ways. It's normally all the things that you're feeling, pressure, anxiety, frustration, anger, all of these things come from really lack of success or success at the level that you want it. And so I was talking to somebody, I was chatting to somebody today, and they were saying, well, I'll be ready, maybe I'll be ready to grow in the future. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, whenever you're ready, let me know. And it got me thinking about the consequence of lack of growth. And it makes sense what the person wanted to. They want to spend time with their children. And then it hit me, right? It's your perception of what growth is and what it is not and what it takes and what it does not take. Today I was talking to somebody on the phone and we gave them a resource to actually, and a strategy on how to get things done while you're sleeping. Like, I get a tremendous amount of work done while I sleep. But see, here's the thing. Most people don't understand the concepts of first success, let alone believing for success. And I was like this phrase that I thought of many years ago. What's up, Steven? Mike Matheny, what's happening? Is don't let small-mindedness keep you small, right? Don't let small-mindedness keep you small. Like, this happens to so many people. And you hear it in their language. I'm just a small company. And I said, okay, by choice or because you don't know any better or you don't know the consequence of staying small. What's up, Denise? Everybody who's on here, if you can share it with somebody, please share it. And if you think through this process of what does small really do? What does playing small do? What does small-mindedness do for you? Well, it's going to catch up over time. And I'm going to give you one of my biggest fears, and I haven't talked about it in a really long time. One of my largest fears about not just being small-minded, because the consequence of that, you have to say to yourself, some people have already accepted defeat. Like, yeah, I'm just not going to be a dad or mom that can send their kids to college, right? Defeat. Not because they can't afford it, because they don't know how to They don't know how to have resourcefulness to even figure something out like that, right? Like you can only accomplish things at the level of your lid of thinking. And then, I started to think many, many years ago, I don't know when it hit me. It was probably digging a ditch or something like that for a swimming pool. The thing of, well, wait a minute, if I keep going at this rate, and I look out into the future, and there's a sense of timeline to this. A lot of people that have attended our, 4-day Service Business Edge event know that there's timelines to things. And I don't have my little, my tripod holder, everybody, that I normally carry with me, but we used it last week at the Service Business Edge event. I gave it to my wife or somebody on the team, and I don't know where it is now. So I got this thing propped up on pillows and all kinds of on the couch here and stuff. So let me know that you could hear it. What's up, Craig? What's up, John? And so it was probably digging a ditch one day. Now that I think of it, pretty sure coming across a piece of shale. Give me a big boom if you've ever dug a ditch by hand, which a lot of people have not dug a ditch by hand. I can't say everybody's experienced a pickaxe and slamming it into rock hard ground on a 100-degree August day where the back of your neck is burning, right? And you feel like your head's going to self-combust. You can't possibly get enough water, and you're sitting there and you're just slamming this thing in the ground. And the whole thing is a few things are going to happen. This thing's going to beat you or you're going to beat it, right? I mean, can you imagine this thing... boom, today and every day. So you get it, bro. Like this thing's going to beat you or you're going to beat it. Isn't that similar to success? Like you're either going to beat success or success is going to beat you. One or the other. So as I'm there, probably slamming in the ground, full swings, hitting, and every now and then you get the lucky gift. I don't know how I'm able to lift the camera, babe, because I got no tripod and the thing's damn near propped up on, unless I hold it, which that ain't going to happen. So we'll try to reposition it or something. But this is what you get today, everybody. So write the information, but the best that you can here. What's up, Thomas? And so every now and then you get the lucky gift, John. Isn't the gift? It's a root. Don't you love the roots? And you get that root that you hit, and you hit the root so hard that the pickaxe bounces up, right? Almost takes your face out. Has that ever happened to anybody? Like you just slam that root, and the root is so dense. It's so dense that it just, boom, it ricochets. So now at that moment, you either have to go get the axe and hope that you sharpened it because you've used it so many times that you're hoping that you sharpen it. Because if you didn't sharpen it, this root now again, it's not about the root, right, John? It's not about, Thomas, it's not about the shale. It's not about the hard ground. It's about what is success going to be defined as. Is success going to be defined as getting this done sooner? And in that moment, and I've had many moments like this out in the field where you say to yourself, well, one, if something happened to me today, if I broke my legs today, what would happen? I actually tore ligaments in my ankle many, many years ago. And unemployment doesn't pay the business owner to work, right? Unemployment doesn't pay the business owner to work. You don't get support. If you want to survive, you go out there. And I remember wrapping plastic bag around my, the thing I had, whatever the cast was, or it was an air cast, right? Around, Rob remembers, the air cast, and crutching out there. As long as they put me on a pail, I could cut in PVC, I could pull wires, I could post hole dig. You can't, because success is, are you going to let this kill you, right? But there's so many of these times on so many jobs, I say to myself, well, holy crap, what if we lost our legs? What position would that put our families in? What position would that put the company in? What's up, Justin? Everybody else that joined? Dan, what's happening? This would put us in a bad position. Now, what happened if I died? I worked for a really great guy, and I've been saying the same thing. I worked for him when I was 18 years old. So this is 30 years ago. I've been telling everybody the same thing for 30 years. If that guy was probably still alive, I might still be working for him. John Cataldo was his name. He was the greatest boss I've ever worked for, ever. Kind, caring, gave you a chance. He gave me my first big chance to do a job, which pissed off my brother. I'm pretty sure at the time there was a driving school, and I'm pretty sure it's in the building that we either own now or next to us. I think it's right next to us. Is it our building the driving school is in? And that was the first big job. He said, who wants the job? And no one stepped up. And I was 18 or 19 maybe. And I said, I'll do it. I'll take it. And they were all looking at me because I was just out of school. And I was like, I'll figure it out. Then later I was asking my brother how to wire certain things because I didn't know how to do it. But I had the willingness. I knew what that success was going to look like. And as you sit here and you're listening to my voice and processing this, you have to ask yourself, do you want what happened to John Cataldo? Let me let you know what happened to him. He got sick. He got cirrhosis of the liver. He drank a lot when he was young, and then his liver was painful, and then whatever that didn't finish off, he finished it off with a bottle of Tylenol every day in hopes of masking the pain. But even though he was in pain, when we'd be out there digging this ditch, he would be right next to me, and I would go, John, go inside, cut in the panel. I'll dig the ditch, man. I'm good. And he'd go, no, you go do the panel. You go pull the wires. And he would pickaxe in the ground. And then John got so sick that he was in the hospital. And his wife was trying to run the business. His manager was trying to run the business. And to make a long story short, that probably shouldn't be made short because I was really sad at the moment. And I shed tears for John Cataldo because, we loved this guy. And this goes back to really showing the power of a boss. And I remember going to see him in the hospital. We did a whole bunch of jobs. Me, this guy Tony D, my brother, did a whole bunch of jobs. We went to visit him in the hospital. They cut him open, and they found that he was just spewed with cancer everywhere. Everywhere just was cancer. They closed him up. We seen him that night, told him, look, we got the jobs. We'll take it done. And then he died. And, what do you think happened to the company when he died? His wife tried running it, but she was never really involved. She never learned. She never evolved. She never, she didn't embrace it enough. They weren't aligned the very best. I mean, he ran the business, and I'm sure there were similar fights with a lot of husband and wives. Like, I don't want to work the phone. I don't want to do this. But, there's a consequence to that. When he died, that company died fast. It died really, really fast. We had to leave because it wasn't going to survive. And so I always thought about this throughout all those years of digging ditches, wiring swimming pools, wiring commercial buildings, industrial plants, all this stuff. Are you being that selfish that you won't figure out success, that you're unwilling to see the consequence in the future? The consequence, and I hope it doesn't happen for anybody. What's up, Ted, and everybody, Justin, is what happens if you get sick? Can your business sustain itself? Can it support your family? And if that's not hard enough to process, well, do you have to have the conversation with your kids someday like, hey, I mean, imagine being a dad. Hey, I can't put, and this is my words, I can't help you go through college because I wasn't willing to change. And I wanted to stay small, and I'm going to talk about small in a couple minutes, and I didn't work hard enough to figure it out. I'm just a plumber. I'm just an electrician. I'm just an HVAC guy. I'm just a drain cleaner. I'm just a pest control guy. So sorry. I mean, there was lots of opportunities for me to step up and learn, tons of them. There was books, there was events to attend, but, I just figured, I kept saying to myself, I'm just a plumber. I'm just an electrician. And then the consequence comes with just saying that. And, I don't want to say it's difficult to grow a company because I don't think it is. I think it's very different, though. And I don't want to say it's difficult to get success, but I think it's different. It's just like change. Change is not difficult. People want to tell you it takes 21 days of a habit to change. And I'm like, okay, well, that's bullshit. I've changed things in a minute. You get in a car accident and almost lose your life. I bet things change in a minute. You lose somebody you love, a family member, like things change in a minute, not over time. And so I'm constantly coming across business owners, people that don't understand that, growth is, it's not, you heard grow or die, right? I get that. It's not grow or die like the death of the business. It's the death of success. It's the death of everything else that you always wanted. It's death of freedom. It's death of removing anxieties and pressures. And these are all the things that come. Now, let's talk, what's up, Bill? Let's talk a couple minutes about small-mindedness. Small-minded, you always hear people say, I have a small plumbing company, small electrical company. I said, look, why don't you consider changing that? Why don't you say aggressively growing or successfully growing plumbing company? Because when you say the word small to yourself, do you think your brain says inflate it big, make it bigger? It doesn't. That's not how the brain works. The brain is nothing more than a computer that whatever you tell it, it will create. That's it. If you tell it to run, it's going to run. If you tell it to shrink, it's going to shrink, right? So if you say, I'm small, you're going to be small-minded and small company. The second thing, and don't take it from me, I have a whole bunch of Warrior family on here, Centurion Warriors, Warrior Circle members, and ask them about it, what they've experienced, either coming to an event or being in our training coaching program, because that's the thing. And then, when you're doing 10 million, some of you feel you're big, and that's probably the trap, because that big becomes the small-mindedness again. For me, I'm like, all right, we're 10 million. Okay. Well, if I tell everybody I'm 10, is that small-minded? Should I be saying, aggressively growing or progressively growing? Should I say something to move it forward, or should I sit on my high horse of 10 million? Because I've watched people go from 10 million back to just about nothing overnight. And I've watched people go from 10 million to out many, many times, So tell me what you're picking up so far. Like, what's the big thing that has stuck with you so far with this conversation? Because I don't want to be, look, there's a lot of great guys out there. There's a lot of guys like Grant Cardone and Gary Vaynerchuk, and they talk about all really good stuff. But, a lot of times it doesn't relate to you, or you don't understand, and they don't tell you the consequence of things. I watch a lot of these guys' stuff, and it's great and it's hypey, but I don't think you need hypey. You need what's going to work right now. You need to know what's going to move the needle. With you, I learned think small, stay small, think large, you grow, which have we done since we came on board. Yeah, and I'm so honored to watch the growth, right? There's nothing better than to keep, what's up, Mandy, is to grow. Like, that's where you want to be, right? Imagine you have, and it's almost like, what you would tell your 5-year-old kid, tell yourself. Tell me if this makes sense. What you would tell your 5-year-old kid. Like, you would not tell your 5-year-old kid, go out there and don't be successful today. Don't worry about success on the baseball field. Like, you would never tell them that. You would tell them, and I'm going to leave you with an exercise that will be simple. And if you do it, it will be profound, but it's simple. So, which means most of you will not do it. But those of you that will, things are going to change. Same thing you would tell your kid, and I remember, what's his name? There was a guy, a manager, he'd probably be mad I forgot his name, but a manager from Yellow Book, real nice guy, helped me out a lot on Yellow Book, and he came and I'm just always looking to help somebody, right? And he was talking about his kid's going to go to this baseball thing. I think it was at Yankee Stadium or something like that. He's going to play out there this game. And I said, okay, let's just stop whatever we got to do. Let's just stop a minute. Let's talk about your son if it's cool. Because that's all I'm interested in now is helping him win. And then we could go back to the Yellow Page stuff. So I said, here's what I want you to do with your son. And I want to share this through an exercise with you, because if you choose to do this, it's going to change the game for you. But you have to hone this skill set. So I said to him, well, here's what I want you to do. At nighttime, before bed with your son, I want you to sit there and I want you to ask him to just close his eyes. And I want him to see himself driving to the baseball field. And I want him to see there high-fiving his buddies and you know, talking about how they're going to crush the game and all this stuff. And then I want him to see himself go out onto the baseball field. And I remember if he was a pitcher, or I don't really remember at this point, but I remember walking him through and saying, now I want you to tell him in his mind, see himself catching the ball, see himself throwing the ball faster than ever before, quicker than ever before. See himself at the very end of the game with his arms up in the air, celebrating, running, and grabbing all his buddies and fist bumps. See that. See him telling you on the ride home, and you guys can feel it now as I'm talking through it, right? See yourself, him telling you on the ride home how fun the game was, how he focused, how he can accomplish everything. And then I said, do you know what to do? And he says, absolutely, I know what to do. He thanked me for it. And I said, but text me as soon as he wins the game. Text me as soon as he wins the game. And I don't know, it was a day or so after, he texted me and they won the game. And so I knew that would happen, because as soon as you visualize the outcome and as soon as you tell yourself a different story, the story is going to change. I mean, this is not foo-foo stuff. This is, scientifically proven. But a lot of people don't do it because either they're sabotaged by their belief system, or they're sabotaged. And it all comes back to what you've been telling yourself for so long. I'm just a small plumbing company. I'm just a small electrical company. Like, here's the number one key. If you want to know the key that, and I'm going to be, I don't want to be self-promotional because I don't have to do that, right? A CEO Warrior is 5 years old. We're working with hundreds of companies all over Australia, Canada, United States, and we have the best proven track record of anybody out there. I don't have to be self-served, but I have to share something with you, because this is one of those things that if you just understand it, like, and I've said it for many years, and I'm not saying it enough to the public, is you can't hone a new skill set with the same mindset. You know, the thinking that got you to where you're at, it's not going to get you where you want to go. It's not. This is fact. This is proven over and over again. And there's so many people trying to teach either sales or how to grow a company, and they don't do the number one thing. They don't shift and change the mindset, not temporary motivation. I've been to so many events, rah, rah, high five, clap, loud music, and it's temporary motivation. When you see our events with the energy and what happens there and the power, that's not temporary motivation. It's part of permanent change. Permanent change means there's no rewinding. You don't go backwards. We only move forward. But so many of these people, they don't know any better. You're not going to get, I can't say you're not. I haven't. I have not read anything, listened to a podcast. I never had permanent change from anything like that. I never did. Permanent change for me, and I know where it happens, it always happens in a total immersion type situation. That's where permanent change. When I went and studied firewalking and was there the first time, I think 5 days, and then went back to get my master's in firewalking and all this stuff, 9 days, that's total immersion. Like, that's layered shifting of change. That will do it. Now, should you go do that? Will that change you? No, I don't know what will change you. It might be you in a dark room with somebody talking to you. I don't know what it will take for you. It might take NLP. It might take hypnosis. It's not a take a pill. Do you get that? It's not a take a pill, because we're complex. There's nobody that had the exact same experiences, emotions, thoughts at the same time. There's nobody that's had that, as far as I know. And with that being said, then every bit of change has to come differently. That's why when we're doing our Service Business Edge event, if anybody's interested in that, I know we're going to close out fast on the June 4th to 7th event. That's why my team, we always talk about, like, we can't move forward to the next thing until permanent changes happen. You can't, because then it's like, how many of you, tell me if this happened, type in a boom or something. You sent your people to training, and they come back and they're good for a day, but then they go back. That's temporary motivation. That's not permanent change. When they go back, I thought I was just getting older and slowing down. Didn't know I had lung cancer. That said, I've been done more in 1 year than in 6. Great stuff, brother. You've mastered the art of communication. I'm glad you're a part of my journey. Have a great day. Do you have it now, Greg? Didn't know I have lung. Do you have lung cancer now, brother? I want to make sure I'm not misreading that. So, yeah, so if you could think about this right now, and let's just connect the dots, and then I want you to go to work, not on your company, on yourself. I want you to go to work on yourself, because I've learned that's the number one key indicator is work on yourself. You want greater results, work on yourself faster. And most people think reading, I know a lot of very people who are not ultra successful that tell me they read 1,000 books. Well, that should tell you I'm not impressed. The books are not helping you. You must go somewhere, get something that creates this change for you. So let's connect some dots. One of the dots is success is mandatory because there's going to be pain down the road for your family. There's going to be pain for your family. And if you outwork, outtrain, out-mindset your problems, you'll grow quicker. Understand why you want growth, right? And for me, I don't know about you, men in here, tell me if this is true or not. It may not be true. I mean, for me, like, if I didn't have a family, if I didn't have anything, like, I could just live in a shack in the woods. I mean, I could live in a box. Like, what do I need? I probably need a couple of my martial arts things for exercise, and I'd like to have a laptop because I do love my laptop and phone for doing things and building things. But what do you really need? I mean, so you have to know why are you doing this? And the next thing, if you know you're doing it for your family to up-level their experiences or up-level their home, whatever it is, well, then just ask yourself, what's the consequence of not moving quicker? What's the consequence? There is a consequence. Like, what's the consequence of letting them down someday? Just remember, you're going to have a lot of naysayers. You're going to have a lot of, and maybe not, maybe just me. You're going to have people that hate your success. This happens with successful people. But don't worry about that stuff. What you want to do is worry about, are you setting the stage for your family? Are they going to be protected someday? Are they going to be set someday? Can they manage this thing? And if you're not creating a self-managed company, I don't care if you're one truck or 5,000 trucks. It doesn't matter. If it's not a self-managed company and you're not working to get those process systems in place, well, then there's chances are you have success risk, right? That's what's gonna be there haunting you. So give me your big thing that stood out, and then I have to go get on a call and stuff like that. It's nasty weather here in New Jersey. It's like raining, it's snowing, it's icing in another place. But I got to hit the road soon, so I got to bounce off of this. Anybody that does know anybody that wants to attend, we have our, it's called Domination. It's our last Service Business Edge event. It's June 4th to 7th. We have some promotional things and stuff. Hit us up or private message me, and I'll let you know what it looks like. It's going to be our largest event that we've ever put on together. We already, he rocked the house. Jay Abraham's coming back again. And Brian Kurtz is coming back again. Mike McCowitz is coming back again. And we have a whole bunch of wild new speakers that are going to be coming. And yeah, it's going to be the longest run, most powerful. Yeah, Chris, it's going to be awesome. It will be our most powerful 4-day event that we've ever run in history. And that's why it's called Domination, because anybody who's come there, they're looking to dominate every aspect of their life, their health, their relationships, their business, their marketing, their sales, every part of it. Who is your ideal client? Thanks for asking that, Sam. So my ideal client is somebody in the service industry that wants to grow or wants to improve it. So, what's that, Rob? B to C? Yeah. Business to consumer is our sweet spot. And, where we hold it in East Brunswick, New Jersey. I have a 10,000 square foot building for CEO Warrior that we run the training coaching organization out of. And yeah, that's where it's going to be. And so anybody in the pest control, plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, drain cleaning, remodeling industry, anything like that serves heating, air conditioning, landscaping. Rob's over there. He's yelling a bunch of stuff to me. Painting, I mean, if you're in the service business, last one forever, it's the last 4-day event that I'm doing. We're going to be building out some other stuff, and we're looking to take all our clients to the very next level. We have a thing we call Warrior 50, and my plan is to take more service companies to 50 million than anybody on the planet. It's just a nice little target that I have myself, Adam. So yeah, this is the last 4-day. I was going to make the last one, the last 4-day. Yeah, thank you, Chris. Now, Rob, Chris is in here, Chris Yano, and he's like, septic, electric, solar. Yeah, brother, it's everything. Storm damage restoration is what I do. Yeah, well, I did restoration, right? I chose to do it, and I did over $1 million the first year. So yeah, restoration, we have some of the largest restoration companies with us right now that are working. We have restoration companies in California that serve the affluent. They're in famous rock star houses, and yeah, that's a perfect fit for it. And because look, when you get dialed in on the marketing, I have a strong commercial background. I can show anybody how to grow a commercial business because Rob and I, we did TGI Fridays, Wendy's, Big and Tall, Sleepy Stores, Industrial Plant. Like, we did all that stuff. Well, Roy Rogers was a long time ago. Yeah, Roy Rogers. Does anybody remember Roy Rogers? Yeah, there's still one out there, and I think Rob and I should go eat a roast beef for old times, and then I don't eat gluten no more, but I might eat a Cinnabon for old times. I might go to the dark side for one day, and then I'll probably go throw up. But yeah, so if any of you do want to come to the Domination event, a 4-day event in June, love to have you. Just hit us up on the team, and we will get you hooked up if it's a fit. If it's not a fit, no worries. I'm not some of these big sales gurus. I don't have to hard sell you on anything. Rob and I sold our $32 million business. It's strictly a movement for us to get people there and change the game. But we will fill up. The building's only 10,000 square foot, and I already know we're going to have to put a tent on to make room for everybody in there and stuff. So if you don't want to be in the back, then you probably should hit us up to be in the front, and we'll change the game. And we make it simple. And I don't want to turn this into a 4-day event because you can find out tons of that on CEOwarrior.com or hit up my team. I wanted to talk about the small stuff, but I do believe that, I don't know anybody else that at the end of day one, they offer $1 million guarantee. If you don't get $1 million worth of value from us at the end of day one, which is about 10 or 12 hours long, we'll give you all your investment back. We'll reimburse your room. As far as now, still, we've never given back $1 on that for somebody after day one. So I think that says something after 5 years, and it's because our movement's to change the game. So everybody, let's leave you with this. Erase small-minded forever, and let's be progressive. Let's grow this year, because the bigger you grow, the more you can impact the world, the more you can impact lives. Of course, if you know anybody that's struggling and they can't, they either don't know how to invest in themselves or they're not willing to invest themselves, hit me up. I'll send them a free book. I'll pay the postage. It's Secrets of Business Mastery. It's in Barnes & Noble. I don't know, maybe it's 20-something bucks. If they can't afford the $20, it's cool. I'll mail it to them. I'll send it to them anywhere you want. If there's somewhere in the world that doesn't make sense to send it, I'll send them a digital version just to help them out and serve them so they can move faster. All right, cool. Love you guys. I got to get to work. Rock out your Tuesday. And don't forget about Valentine's Day. It's coming up. Serve your customers with something that's really great and serve your family. Boom.